At the beginning of the story, we see a boy named Will who has only a few hours left to live. On the other side, his woman, whose 50th birthday it was, receives birthday wishes from Will. She asks him to marry her, but Will says, "Who has time for all this?" He asks his mother how much time she has, to which she replies 3 days, and adds that half of it will go towards the rent. She gives Will 5 minutes as currency so that he can have a good breakfast. On the way, he meets a little girl who asks Will for some of his time. When he refuses, the girl says that she also has some expenses, so Will gives her 5 minutes. At the factory, due to the increased price of coffee, he spends 4 minutes. When he receives his salary, he gets only half of his wages. In the next scene, we see Will going to a bar. He notices a man who has more than 100 years on his clock. Will tells him that there is too much time on his clock and he must be careful, otherwise someone will steal it. Just then, some people arrive and try to steal the man's time. Will saves the rich man from those people and takes him to an empty place. He tells him that his life is in danger and asks why he is showing his clock like this. The rich man asks Will about his age. Will replies that he is 28. The rich man says that he is 105. Will has only a few hours left to live, so the rich man offers to help him. But Will refuses. The man says that for some people to live long, others have to die. Hearing this, Will becomes troubled. He asks the rich man that if he had time, what would he do with it? The rich man replies that he would stop watching it and, like Will, would not waste time. The next morning, the man gives all his time to Will and leaves a note saying, "Do not waste my time." When Will wakes up, he finds no one there. He looks at his clock and is shocked to see that he has a lot of time now. Then he sees that the man is sitting on a bridge, ready to commit suicide. Before Will can save him, his time runs out and his heartbeat stops, and he falls from above and dies. All of this is captured in the CCTV camera there. Will runs to his friend and tells him everything, and he helps him by giving him 10 years. In the next scene, we see Will's mother returning, and the fare of the bus increases because she does not have enough time. She cannot pay the bus fare, and no one helps her, so she has to run to meet her son. At the bus stop, when Will does not see his mother, he understands, so he also starts running. By the time she reaches Will, all her time is over. This leads to the death of Will's mother. This makes Will cry a lot. After that, we see that the dead body of that rich man is found by the timekeeper, and in the CCTV footage, she sees Will there, and they start the investigation. Meanwhile, in the wealthier hotel area, he meets a girl named Sylvia. Then he goes to a casino, where he bets all his time on gambling, and he wins a huge amount of time. There, the girl invites him to attend a party. Will goes to the party and also dances with that girl. In the middle of the party, the timekeeper arrives and catches Will, and they ask him about his time. Will says that he has won it. When asked further, he tells them the whole truth. The timekeeper does not believe him and takes away all his time. Now he has only 2 hours left. Later, we see Will snatching a gun, kidnapping Sylvia, and escaping from there. On the way, the timekeeper had fully arranged to capture Will. Because of this, they have an accident and both fall unconscious. Just then, the Minutemen arrive and steal all of Sylvia's time, and she is left with only a few minutes. At that moment, both of them regain consciousness, and Will goes to his friend to get some time, but his friend dies because of drinking alcohol. After that, Will sells Sylvia's earrings, from which he gets some time there, and then the two of them share the time between themselves. Will calls Sylvia's daddy, and he demands 1,000 years of time from the timekeeper. The timekeeper threatens him that he will die just like his father. Later, we see Will bringing Sylvia to his home. Sylvia asks him about his family, so he tells her that his mother died because her time ran out, and when he was young, his father had already died because her time ran out, and when he was young, his father had already died. His father was a fighter and he used to win against everyone. Sylvia asks Will how his father used to win. Then Will says, "Come, I will show you." Holding her hand, he gives all the time to Sylvia, and he says, "Let the opponent think that he is going to win." Then he stops looking at his clock, and he will feel that he is winning. And while the opponent is busy in all this, Will twists his hand and takes back all the time from Sylvia. Sylvia says that they were killed in the same way. Will replies that they were killed while giving all their time to others. Next, we see that Will lets Sylvia go and tells her to call her dad so that he can take her home. Sylvia is making the call when the timekeeper arrives there, and he is about to kill Will. Just then, Sylvia shoots the timekeeper. Will takes his time from him and gives him only a few hours and says that this time will remain as a debt on you. The two of them take the timekeeper's car and escape from there. On the way, they stop a car. Will takes the time of the girl inside that car and gives her earrings to Sylvia, and they also take the car. Meanwhile, in the news, a report is broadcast blaming the salary theft and Will as guilty. Will and Sylvia now had very little time left, so they go to a bank. That bank belonged to Sylvia's father, who used to give time on loan. They rob a huge amount of time from there and escape. The people standing there also start looting time. Then Will helps the people by giving them time. The timekeeper, while chasing Will, reaches his house. Will and Sylvia escape from there. The timekeeper also chases them. They run and get on a bus, but the bus driver recognizes them. Then Will gives some of his time to the driver as a bribe, which makes the driver move the bus forward. The two of them escape from the timekeeper. Will and Sylvia go to a hotel and book all the rooms there so that no one can come there. From there, one guest leaves and sees both of them in the hotel. On the other side, the Minutemen also follow Will, and they ask some people about Will's whereabouts. And upon refusal, they take away all of their time. Among those people, that guest was also there, who reveals information about Will and demands his share from them. A reward of 10 years had been placed on Will and Sylvia. Will and Sylvia are just talking when the Minutemen arrive there with their companions, and they capture both of them. The Minutemen give Will a chance, telling him that he must defeat them. And then Will gives his hand to the Minutemen. They take away all of Will's time, with only a few seconds left as the Minutemen look at Will's clock. Just then, Will twists his hand and takes all the time from the Minutemen. Meanwhile, Will takes out a gun and kills his companions. The Minutemen die because their time runs out. To take revenge on Will, they increase prices on goods, so that all the people Will has helped become troubled. Then Sylvia pretends to surrender in front of her dad, so that the guards get distracted. Just then, Will points a gun at her dad and kidnaps him, and demands the password to the locker, and takes 1 billion years from it. Then, as the theft happens, the alarm goes off. The timekeeper starts going after Will. The timekeeper says on the phone, "I want today's time." Will is on his way to the bank, where his car collides with the timekeeper's car. Will gets out of the car there and gives time to a girl using a device, and that device is taken away by the little girl. Just then, the lights in the bank go out, and people start running for time. In that crowd, Will also starts escaping from the timekeeper, and using that device, a boy distributes time to everyone. The two of them run very far away, and the timekeeper reaches them. Will tells him, "I need the time I loaned you." Just then, the timekeeper looks at his clock, and his time runs out, and he dies right there. Will checks his own clock and sees that his time is also about to run out. He runs to the timekeeper's car. From there, he gets 1 day's worth of time, and he gives some time to Sylvia as well, saving her life too. After this, Sylvia asks Will how much time he got, to which Will tells her that he got 1 day, and then he smiles and says, "We can do a lot in 1 day." After this, news channels are shown where the timekeepers stand silently watching the news as they find out that many zones have been taken over by the people. Then Sylvia and Will are shown in a car, where they see their own wanted posters. After this, they get out of the car and head to rob another bank. And this is where the movie ends.